In for the Night is a podcast that discusses movies, random topics, and gives you an excuse to just stay in for the night. Christmas time.
See, you see that little duet there?
Yeah, but you forgot to say to just stay in for the night.
No, I waited for you to say just, because that part always ruins me.
Christmas
yeah, to
time.
just, so I just say just.
Merry Christmas, in for the nighters.
Nighter inners.
Oh, geez, that sounds dirty.
Nighter inners.
That's like
innards.
Serial killer vibes right there.
I mean, there's serial killers out there. What, they're going to stop because it's Christmas?
I hope they do. They're just like, I'm going to give the gift of not killing.
That's all the more reason. Yeah, they should do that. But that's all the more reason why they would. Because it's like, I'm going to give a Christmas present to myself.
Stab, stab, stab.
I'm going to take an eyeball home.
Oh.
Or a scrotum sack.
There is a story of these two girls. I don't know if they're twins or not, but I want to have that as a job. I decided that sometimes we can just do a deep dive in certain serial killers or true crime or paranormal stuff. Yeah.
Wow, knocking over everything, huh?
You know what?
You're so excited. You're just like boom, boom, boom,
this
boom.
Is the first thing I've had something legit to do in the last week.
Yeah. Same. I haven't done anything either.
Oh, okay, yeah. Pretty much.
I wish.
But there was a story about these two girls who were working for this family, and the mistress of the house, she kind of went off on these two girls, and they snapped, and they dug their fingers into her eye socket and ripped their eyes out, two girls' eyes out with their fingers.
Wait, what? Two girls ripped
two girls, two workers, so two maids. And then there was two mistresses, the mistress and her daughter or something. They're older. And so the mistress got upset at the maids because of something or another, an iron wasn't working or something. And then the girls just snapped. And so they took a ball peen hammer and smashed their heads in. And then they took their little worker finger hand, stubby little finger, gnarly fingers, dug it into their skull and ripped their eyes out. And you know how they know? Is because when the investigators came, they found the eyeballs before they found the bodies.
Oh, so I'm still confused on who ripped out the eyes.
Maids ripped out the mistress's eyes.
Okay, thank you.
Was that confusing, folks?
That was very confusing. Because you said the mistress and the maids, and you're like, the workers.
So the mistress freaked out, and then the maids
Yeah, you said the
snapped.
maids, the mistress freaked out. So I thought, well, maybe the mistress bashed their heads in.
Nope. Anyway.
But the maids did.
It's something Folia do.
Is this something that happened in real life?
That's
or it's a movie?
No, that's a real situation.
Oh, Jesus. Recently?
Well, electricity was around, so I don't know.
Oh, electricity wasn't around. So it was the
early 1920s?
1700s.
Great. Late 1800s, early 1900s, I don't know. No, 1700s.
1700s.
They signed the Declaration of Independence with fluorescent lighting.
Not in the 1700s, they didn't.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I wasn't born back then. I was born in 85.
So guess what? 1885 or 1785?
1785.
Gotcha.
I'm a vampire.
We have a special guest today.
Lala Beans.
Their name is Lala.
She is sitting next to my leg,
She's
wanting me to pet her.
I gave her a bath yesterday, and yet she is still dirty.
So that means y'all get to take 2 shots. Hey, we're on track.
2 shots.
Before 4 minutes in,
Oh.
And we have the 2 dogs over there playing. So that's why it's 2, because the dogs are playing and then one dog is near me wanting pets. So 2 shots.
Who
people.
are you?
Fantastic Four.
The Flame?
Yes.
Is that his name? The Flame? The Torch.
Torch, yeah.
I got it before you, bitch.
Took you
Suck
5
it.
years, but
You didn't even get it at all.
Because I was letting you figure it out, babe. I already knew.
The Flame. I'd rather have the Flame.
No, Torch is Human Torch. It's Human Torch.
See?
You're still wrong. I win. Right, Lala.
Are you done?
No.
Are you going to ask me who I am?
No.
I'm Katie.
All right, moving on.
Hi.
How was your week, Katie?
That's really weird hearing you say my name.
Katie Kiss.
If you haven't seen the movie The Boy, go ahead and watch it because we make fun of that all the time.
Little creepies.
Greta Keys. Anyway, week has been okay. Bad, good. Definitely had a shitty week. This is the second anniversary of my brother's death, so that was a struggle this week, as well as not having a job still, getting a lot of rejections letters saying, you're too qualified, you're not qualified enough. So I'm
like... You've gotten a lot, because you said you applied, this was like 4 days ago, you said you applied to 60-something.
So 4 days ago total, since I have been unemployed, I have applied to over, because I haven't started this roster until like 3 or 4 days in. So I've probably done about 80 now. So
and you've only gotten like what, 10, 12?
I would say about 20% rejection letters back. And then I have been viewed like maybe another 20%. And so then the rest of the 60% have zero response.
Those are the ones you're supposed to call.
They were like, please.
All the jobs that I've gotten besides American, I have called. Because people slack on fucking looking at resumes.
So anyway, guys, I am a very qualified person. I am a badass. I will do anything and everything. If you need me to snipe someone, I will. No, I won't, but I will if you really need me to. But I won't.
For $1 million.
But no, I'm a very qualified person, and it really sucks that I'm either too qualified or not qualified enough. It's like I go for like the higher end shit, and I'm like, you know what, I can try. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say no. But then like the ones that are like at the base of like the minimum that I want to get paid, they're like, you're way too qualified for this. So it's like I can't find a happy medium. If you need me to learn something, I will fucking learn it. Do you need me to get my medical degree? Give me a week. Like, seriously.
Go in aviation then.
I don't want to go in aviation. I don't like doing stuff like that. I don't like being dirty.
I'm not dirty.
I'm going to blink at you for a few seconds.
I'm not. I don't get dirty at work.
But anyway, so job hunting has been real. Going to the gym, doing all that shit, like cleaning the house. I've been writing a lot, which is great. So I'm up to 136,000 words now. And so I'm getting to the end of my book. I've been writing this novel for like the last year and a half, and I'm just finally having time to actually focus on it. So I've been doing that a lot. Hopefully, once I finish and edit, I can... Sorry. She was humping. So everybody take a hump shot. Maybe a buttery nipple if you know how to make it. But I've been writing a lot, and so I don't know, maybe I can get it published. Maybe I don't have to work. We'll see. How are you? How's your week?
It's great now. I'm on my off week now. So I can hopefully get some raids in on my V Rising video game that I play. And then I need to finish up on my World of Warcraft because a new expansion came out, and I have not been playing at all. So I'm supposed to be level 70 like 2 weeks ago. And then obviously hang out with the wifey. We're going to watch Black Adam, which I'm excited about.
I'm going to rape you in Exploding Kittens.
Yeah, I don't want to play that. I'm just going to play video games the whole week.
Do you want to play Uno? You can beat me then.
No, we might play Monopoly or something. I still need revenge on my Monopoly. But I spanked her. I do not suck at Monopoly. If we play the real rules, maybe, instead of like having the bank money in there, and then you end up winning it every single time.
See, but I like that because it gives me more incentive to land on it.
Yeah, and that's how you beat me, is because you end up with like freaking $50 million, and I have $5. But anywho, so yeah, I'm excited because it's my week off, and I got the schedule that I wanted for my new bid, so it's pretty good, you know? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
I don't know how to deal with that.
No
Let's
one
move
does.
on. So, I hope you all did your homework. It is Christmas. And if you haven't seen this movie, it actually is pretty good. We will do our scores later, but I enjoyed this. I've always enjoyed this. I've watched it since I was a kid. It's
kind of stressful, but
it's not stressful.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Just like you say, like, what was that movie we saw?
Cat in the Hat. That was stressful.
Yeah, with all the crazy stuff going on, this is the same damn thing, babe.
Not really.
That's why it's called mixed nuts. It's because they're fucking everywhere.
His dad got hit by a
That's not the reason why.
But it's
That's
actually
part of it.
symbolic because mixed
it's
nuts, it's a bunch of different types of people who are a little bit crazy all together.
Exactly. So it has two double meanings. It's the fact that his dad got ran over by a truck of mixed nuts, and the fact that there's a bunch of different people with a bunch of shit going on, and it's like chaotic. Sure. I got that from the very beginning. So I get it, but it's stressful because it's like.
You did not get, like, you were shocked at the end.
I was shocked at the end.
I really liked.
You want me to spoiler alert? So what happens at the end?
We'll talk about in due time, sir, in due time. But do you want to read the synopsis?
No, I don't want to do my only job that I have.
Score well at all.
Well, no, because you pick terrible movies.
I do not pick terrible movies just because you hate everything.
She's a terrible movie picker. So Mixed Newts, 1994, dark comedy and comedy. I don't know about
dark comedy. Ooh.
Dark comedy. So is it black comedy?
They can't say that. Did you know a lot of companies are trying to like remove like the term black from like everyday usage? So my company that I used to work for, whenever instead of saying blacklist it, meaning put it on a bad list, we can't say that anymore. And so they try to remove black from it because they don't want to associate negativeness to color.
Just change it to dark listed.
Same thing, but so we would just say, so we would put as like I forgot what the terminology they use, like we'll just cancel this, we will do not use terms, like do not use list, because when blacklist somebody means you're not in a good list. Like so we're trying
racist.
Exactly, they're trying not to be
but
racist.
What about the black plague? So it's not going to be called the black plague anymore, it's going to be called the
really
white plague.
The really bad plague,
or the really bad plague, or the
but the reason you know why
jumbo plague.
Do you know why they called it the black plague?
The black what?
Plague.
You didn't say that at first. Why?
Because one of the symptoms is that you would get like these huge blistery black things under your armpits.
Oh,
I was obsessed with the black plague when I was younger. I still am. I love it. I would thrive.
Got your head.
All right. Shot.
Oh, whoops. Come on. All right. So we got 5.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Ooh, ouch. 13% on Rotten Potatoes. Ouch. It's really like my last movie. What was it again?
Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, Cat. Well, I don't think it was low as this, though. This has so far been the lowest. And we got 14% on Metacritic. And we got a 0 on... No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to be like, on what? Jesus Christ.
I was trying to think of one of the... There's like... Because on the end, it's usually Metacritic or it's like... They're playing. It's usually Metacritic. That's another shot, too, by the way. Damn, so that's like...
7 shots.
7 shots in 12 minutes. Y'all going to be hammered.
What is it?
I really hope someone is actually doing shots when we do this.
I know one of our friends, he listens to us, and he's on his way to work and from work, so I don't really...
I need someone to like let us know if they actually email us and let us know if y'all actually take shots or like chug a beer or something.
Like if there's like 5 or more shots in an episode, you have to shotgun a beer or a White Claw.
Shotgun something that is available for shotgunning.
The black boxes of wine.
Oh, you just said black. I
know. I was trying not to say that.
I'm telling.
What is this? Who are you gonna tell? Like.
What is happening?
I'm the authority in this relationship.
Okay, so but 72% of Google users like this movie.
See, 72%. I have to trust the Google users.
I think I trust Google more than fucking IMDb and Rotten Potatoes and Metacritic, whatever the hell that is.
What is Metacritic?
Something stupid.
I hate everything.
Synopsis.
Penis, P9.
Fifi, you want to read it? So Philip Steve Martin manages a suicide prevention hotline called Lifesavers, assisted by Miss Munchnick, Madeline Kahn, Kahn, and Catherine Rita Wilson. On Christmas Eve, Philip learns that their landlord, Gary Schindling, is evicting them from their office. Amid all this unrest, Catherine proclaims her love for Philip, and when a transvestite, Liv Live Schneider.
Schneider?
No, it's not Schneider. It has a B in there. It's B-E-R. And a pregnant woman, Juliette Lewis. Love Juliette Lewis. She's from... Ooh, that might be one of my movies. From Dusk Till Dawn. Love Juliette Lewis. And she's also in The Act. Enter into the equation. Things get even more interesting. Initial release is December 21st, 1994. So it's not on Christmas. You lie.
No.
You lie.
The TV.
You lie.
Oh, okay, fuck off.
Okay, fuck off. God, you're so funny. Director is Nora Ephron. Not that Efron. It just looks the same. It's Ephron. Not like Zac Efron, but
that's Efron.
You would know, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. I bet you watch his pornos, don't you?
He has porn.
Don't look it up.
Y'all.
I don't know if he does.
Stop this right now and look it up.
I mean, I would even look it up.
It's even like the Daniel Radcliffe riding naked on a horse thing.
Probably. Budget was only $20 million. I wish they put how much they made. That's stupid.
I don't think this was in
all the
theaters.
Producers and all that. So we got Steve Martin as Philip. We got Adam Sandler as Louis. We got Madeline Kahn as Miss Munchnick. I don't know how to say his name. Liev Schneider.
I'm a
He was he's played in a lot of movies. I cannot think of
Liev Schreiber.
I cannot think of what he was in right now.
He's in a bunch of shit, but he's in like a war movie. I remember in a war movie, and he was trying to be serious.
He usually plays a bad guy. I mean, in some of the movies I've seen, he's a bad guy.
You can click on his face and see what it is.
Let's see.
There's a lot of kind of bigger name people in this movie.
That's where I really know him from. He's
Alien vs. Predator.
No. He is well, for one, he's in Salt, but he's in Wolverine Origins. Why does it say Men Origins? Oh, X-Men. I'm an idiot. It's because look at it. It just says Men Origins.
X-Men Origins.
No, babe, look at the picture. It just says Men Origins. So I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, he's in X-Men Origins. He is Wolverine's brother. He's Sabretooth.
Yeah. And he had the bone claws.
Yeah, that's what I was remembering him from.
Look at me knowing shit.
So he's not really a bad guy now, but I know he does play a bad guy. And then also we got Juliette Lewis as Gracie, and then we got Rita Wilson as Catherine. So yeah. All right. On to the meat and potatoes.
We're already in the meat and potatoes.
No, we're not.
Okay, so this movie has a lot of like bigger name people. So you listed Liev Schreiber, however you pronounce the name, sir. I really enjoy it. Schneider. We have Steve Martin, which his full name, if I ever meet him, I love Steve Martin. He's just a cool roundabout guy. He plays the fucking banjo. He's a comedian. He's just a good dude. Mm-hmm. And so if in the fact I ever get to meet this gentleman, I will refuse to call him just Steve or Mr. Martin. I'm going to call him Steve Martin the entire existence that I know him. So
that's his name, Steve Martin.
He'd be like, you can call me Steve. And I'm like, okay,
it's
Steve
weird
Martin.
Just calling him Steve. There's so many Steves in this world. Steve Martin. There's only one Steve Martin.
I'm pretty sure there's probably more than one Steve Martin.
No one gives a shit about those, though.
So today we are talking about this movie. If you have not watched it yet and you do want to watch it after you listen to us, again, it is on Peacock, so you can look at that, watch it there. It's free if you have the Peacock subscription. Mm-hmm. The Peacock subscription, I believe, is free. Do not quote me on that. We have so many subscriptions.
Yeah,
I don't.
We have a lot.
It's just we like movies and we want to be able to watch them all. But the first thing that I brought up in my notes is the thought of a Cali Christmas. A
Cali Christmas?
California Christmas. Because they don't have snow. It's not cold. People are in their like beach gear and they're still on the sand going to the beach.
It gets cold there.
Not 60s, 70s.
50s. Wow. I'm sure
on
it's
occasion.
Down to 50s because I was there kind of during winter time for a tournament and it got fairly chillies there. It wasn't like big parka jackets, but it was fairly chillies.
My whole company, we used to live there, and they're like, oh, they don't even have. The thing is that bothers me the most about California. It's ridiculously priced. Everybody
and they don't
knows
like
that.
guns.
Sure. But the thing that bothers me the most, they don't have AC in majority of their like domiciles, and they don't have heat. I'm sorry, you have to rely on a fan or a fucking space heater to
I would
regulate.
get a house built with central air.
All of like, and they pay astronomical prices. I had a direct report of mine, and she had like, I think it was like a 500 or 600 square foot, maybe 700 square foot apartment. She was paying $3,000. That is more expensive than my mortgage. So fuck that noise.
Yeah, that's really expensive.
Sorry, I love California. It's gorgeous. It's nice. I love the temperature. It was
wouldn't
pretty.
live there though.
I wouldn't live there. I would.
Unless, it's only a visiting state.
Unless it was probably North Cal, then I probably.
Unless I end up getting like a job where they pay like $500,000, then we could live there. But that's not ever going to happen. So,
my Uber driver even told me that his 1,500 square foot house, like 14 years ago, he bought for $700,000.
That's ridiculous.
Right now, it's like worth $2.4 million or something. He said.
That's ridiculous.
I'm like 1,500 square feet. We have a 4,000 square foot house, and it's right now worth like $350.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
you could buy two houses.
That's why so many people over there have been moving down south because they sell their houses for, $1 million that they bought back in the day for nothing, and then they come down here and buy 2 or 3 houses or some shit.
But that's cool. I'm baffled by what, like, I don't know how to explain it, like how people can jack up prices for no reason. For me, that's just like ridiculous. California was the last to be inhabited other than Alaska and Hawaii, but like the last to be inhabited because of the gold rush and all that bullshit. Why is it so expensive?
Well, yeah, Alaska was last inhabited because it's in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico.
So everybody, go to our webpage, inforthenightpodcast.com, go to our merch, and you will have a t-shirt that shows where Alaska is, according to Ty.
It's the best shirt you'll ever spend money on. 100%.
100%.
100%.
I said that like 4 times in the interview today. I talked to the guy. I was like, 100%, 100%,
100%. You should have said 1,000%. You got to switch it up sometimes.
I know I didn't.
I know I didn't.
So we meet Steve Martin, who is riding his bicycle down a street, and these people who are carrying a tree on rollerblades, which is stupid.
Their perfect tree.
Well, I mean, it looked pretty, and that girl is on stuff. I don't remember who she is. I think.
No, I don't remember.
She's in something, and she has kind of the same bitchy attitude, so that's just her person, I guess. The Santa, who is Felix, runs into their tree and destroys it. And instead of Philip being like, oh, this is a shitty situation, he just picks up the tree and he brings it to the office. And he's like, look what I got. Like,
I got a tree.
Which is great.
A perfect tree.
So there's people out there who are the positive type, like Philip.
I mean, he's a positive type at work, we find out later on. But outside of work, he's terrible.
Yeah. He's good on the phones, just not in person.
Bingo.
So
100%.
He gets to the place and he meets his landlord, whose name is Stanley. And
Stanley Ipkiss.
Not
What is that from?
The Mask.
Ooh, look at you! Hot damn!
I thought you were say hot dog.
Hot damn! Look at you. You just got million brownie points. This is my favorite movie.
I know this.
Oh, look at you. She does love me, people.
We'll
You're
see.
okay.
We'll see. So this is when Stanley gives the eviction notice. And so this is kind of the start of the chaos that has ensued.
Mm-hmm.
But there is slight foreshadowing, and you didn't catch it, when Stanley, the landlord, is obsessed. He's like, so what kind of calls do you have? And he's like, oh, has anybody impaled themselves?
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, that's boring. Or something.
And he's like, oh, that's boring. Oh, has anybody eaten glass? And Philip makes a comment.
But that just reminded me of you, because you would probably ask those
I'm
questions.
like,
You're not
I'm like, oh my God, you work for, what is it, the police station? What have you seen? What darkness do you tell? Like, what's the worst thing you've ever seen?
Yeah. So that just reminded me of you. I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, but I'm not
You're partially going down that route?
I'm already there, dude. Knocking
Yeah,
on.
you are. Yeah.
I'm knocking on the
Why
door
do
with
I
an
let
axe.
you sleep with a 9 mil on the side of your nightstand? I don't know. Should hide it.
Do you want?
lock it
Oh
up.
my god! Sorry, we're gonna stop again. Sorry. Weird shit has been happening in our house, and I posted this on Facebook, and I thought it was funny. And your uncle just randomly said, "Oh, make sure to change the batteries," and I'm like, "It's not a battery situation that we're having." I didn't
Yeah.
say that.
He said something. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you need to change the batteries so the thing does. I was like, it's not a. I said the twisty thing on there. So our thermostat is a twisty, old school twisty thing. Like on the front, there's like the plastic twist thing that tells you what the
with
temperature
the
is.
red line on it.
Yeah, so we're trying to update it, but it costs money to get an electrician here to update it to our Honeywell. Anyway, so this is like the second or third time I've noticed that the temperature has been shifted.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, I just assume I ran into it, but
Or me.
I was sleeping and I was cold in the middle. I like woke up between like 3 and 4. I was freezing and I was like, oh, I'm just cold because I'm always fucking cold. And so I go back to bed and then Ty comes home and I kind of wake up with him and he's like, why is the temperature down to 60?
No, I was freezing my ass off.
He was
when
freezing
I
and
came
that
in, 'cause
never
It was
happens.
like, for when it was like 30 something degrees outside. So I had my jacket on. So I was like, oh, I mean, I'm in the house now. It's usually warm. So I took off my jacket and I went to the other side of the house to feed the dogs. And that side of the house gets a lot colder because I think there's only like one vent on the outside, which is a big room. And there's like each individual room has one. So it's pretty cold on that side. So I started like shaking. I was like, this is not normal. So then I walked to the hallway and I was like, all right, I got to check the temperature because I remember you telling me it's been turned down. So I went over there. It was fucking set to 50 something. No, 60 something. Sorry. It was like 62 or some shit like that. I just like glanced at it because it just was not in its normal 71, 72, 70 range. And then I saw she was woken up and I was like, babe, guess what the freaking temperature's on? And she's like, what? I'm like, it's 62 or some shit. She's like, how does that keep happening? I'm like, I don't know. But it was fucking cold.
So I've been like notating the temperature when I go to bed just in case because I like ran into it once and it didn't shift. I like look at it. I'm like, oh, I didn't move it. Okay. So something's moving our temperature thing.
Yeah, I would think we would notice us bumping into it.
I mean, I run into random shit all the time.
You do.
Thanks for the support on
You're
that.
welcome, babe. I love you though. But you do.
Greta. Anyway, so we're gonna go back to the movie. Sorry about that segue. So the landlord's obsessed with impaling and eating glass and all that shit. And so Philip goes to his like apartment, I guess, that they use as their lifesavers headquarters. And he brings a tree and everybody's so happy. And Catherine's there and Mrs. Munchnick is there.
Evil Miss Munch.
She's not evil. She's just,
Munchnick.
she has like a stick up her ass.
She needs something else up her ass.
And so this is when Philip calls his girlfriend Susan.
I forgot about Susan.
I like every time a name comes up, I write it down because I do not remember it. So he calls Susan and she was like, oh, I've been meaning to talk to you about this. My psychiatrist thinks we should break up. And he's like, when have you been seeing a psychiatrist? Well, I've been dating one for 4 months. This fucker has been engaged to Philip. They were engaged and they were going to get married in like 2 or 3 months. And she's been
banging a psychiatrist.
Dating somebody else. Fuck.
Well, maybe the psychiatrist is a woman.
True.
I don't think it's as bad.
No, it is as bad. You shouldn't be cheating on your significant other. But, okay, so if I started dating a chick right now, you'd be okay with it.
Fuck yeah.
That was
No hesitation. I didn't think about shit.
not even one.
My only stipulation was I would like to watch every once in a while.
We'll just videotape it for you. Like,
Yeah, that's perfect.
sex act number 1.
Perfect.
27.
And just as long as we still do things, ours stops, then that's a problem. Because then I'm going to go find it somewhere.
Okay. Fun. All right. But the thing that I wanted to talk about, and I was going to ask you, what's worse? Being broken up with by fax, phone, or a text?
By fax? Oh, like fax
So
machine.
she's like, I was going to text. I was going to fax
it
you,
to you.
but you don't have a fax.
Yeah, you don't have a phone or a fax. Oh, yeah, well, he does have a phone. But yeah, you don't have a fax. You said by text, fax, or phone?
I held
I
up my
would say
hand.
probably fax would be
The worst.
the worst one, and then next would be text, and then phone would be, because it's supposed to be done in person. But a lot of people like to avoid person because that's when, like,
You have to like hug them and be like, "Oh, it's not you, it's me."
no, it's like you see facial expressions, you see like them crying, you see like, or they might go ape shit and try to kill you, or
So I actually technically broke up with somebody on the like via text, but I thought we were already broken up.
I
So
usually just ghost people.
you're a shitty person.
I am. That was back in like high school and junior high.
Fun story. So I broke up with somebody via text. Like this guy I was dating like maybe like 3 or 4 weeks. It was like he said, "Oh, I'm exclusive. I only date one person at a time." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever. If that happens, if it's true or not, whatever." He was okay, kind of boring. It was just
Oh, so he's like me.
No, there was no spark there. We have a spark. We are married. You're fine. But
Yay.
What?
Yay.
Oh, great. But he was like, he brought up something and it pissed me off. And I told him, "Hey, that is not cool. You can't talk about it. Like, I don't think this is going to work. I'm done." The weekend, like, it was like a Thursday or Friday. And then I hadn't talked to him all weekend. And I'm a person I would like to talk to at least every day, a little bit. It doesn't have to be like in depth or phone calls for hours because fuck phone calls. And so the weekend went by and I wasn't feeling good. And then on Monday, like afternoon, I got a text from him. I didn't even think about this, dude. And he's like, "Hey, how's it going? Like, I wanted to see if I can take you out to dinner tonight, blah, blah, blah. I miss you." And I'm like, bro, not to be a complete and utter bitch, but since last I spoke to you, I haven't even thought about you.
Jesus.
I was being honest. And he was like, "Oh, wow." And I'm like, I thought like literally we're over on Thursday because I said I can't do this. And
What did he do to make you break up with him?
I don't remember. It was so like,
No.
it was,
You were just over it already.
I was already over it. And I was like, all right, whatever. Because he was very like misogynistic. He was like that dude kind of guy. And I was just like, no.
I'm a dude's dude.
Okay.
Jesus.
So let's go back to the movie. We are going to try to get through this. So Mrs. Munchnick is done with work and she starts to leave with all her presents and she's going to see her dead husband's sister for Christmas.
Dead sister's husband. That's what Philip always said.
Yes, but
he always
always
said
got
it
it
wrong,
wrong.
and then she finally corrected him.
But dead husband's sister. Dead husband's sister.
Yeah.
And so she gets in the elevator and she goes down and all of a sudden it stops.
That's what she fucking gets.
I mean, she's a little bitch, but Mrs. Munchnick is in the elevator and she's screaming and nobody can hear. And then Adam Sandler, this is when we get Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler has a small role in this. It's not super huge.
I mean, it's not like...
It's not a main character. He's a pseudo main character.
I thought when you said he wasn't like a main character, you see him for like 10 seconds and like that was it. No. But like you see him then and you see him...
Like throughout the rest of the movie, you
yeah,
see him.
especially towards like the middle and the end.
But it's
he's
not like
Waterboy
Waterboy or Billy Madison.
Well, yeah. Well, that he produced those. So it's going to be a lot different.
Or 51st Dates. Okay, whatever.
True.
But, and so Adam Sandler has a Walkman. Did you have a Walkman?
No, I had a CD player. Mm-hmm. I was up with the hip.
I remember I had a CD player. It was mint green, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
With my Stacy Orico.
I would drop my CD players so fucking often.
Did it skip your CD?
Oh, yeah. I dropped it so many times. Because, I mean, it's like that flat and that big. And it's just like, I don't know. It's real easy to fucking drop. And it would rip out the jack. And yeah.
It's like, because you can't put it in your pocket.
No, it was too freaking big to put in my pocket. So it's like, now when I wore a hoodie, that was good. Because I was able to put it in the little pocket here. That was the best. But like during the hot season.
The hot season. Summer.
No, it's black summer. Remember, we can't say black.
Okay. So Mrs. Munchnick is in the elevator, and that's where she remains for a little bit. And so this is when she starts opening the presents that she has for her kids. The kids that she...
Oh, is that what she's doing?
Yeah, she's just getting bored and she's trying to get people's attention, but nobody's listening to her. And so she's like she has the piano and she's like hitting it with the thing and she's like, hey,
singing. Hey, she was pretty good. I give her
She was a rapper.
She was a rapper. I'll give her that.
She was like, come and get me something or punch me in the face. I was like, I'm sure people want to say that. So going back to what the company is Lifesavers, so they get random phone calls from people. This is a suicide hotline, technically, where if people are depressed, they will call in and then they will talk to somebody and make them feel better. Even if they're not suicidal, if you're just a little bit depressed or just feel bad, you have somebody to talk to, which is great. I support that. I wish there is stuff out there. Please, 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 if you are feeling depressed or possibly suicidal, please go ahead and look up online. There are suicide hotlines that makes you anonymous. You can just talk to somebody and just to have somebody to talk to, or email us. I'll email you back. I'll talk to you.
I'll email back as well, even though I don't.
You won't check your email. Don't even start.
I don't check the email, but like if wifey's like, "Hey, we got a pretty awesome like email from someone who..."
Not awesome, but it's just like...
No, it is awesome because that means they're reaching out for help, and that's awesome.
That's true. You're very right. Anyway, so please, you can email us. I'm going to plug it here, inforthenight69@gmail.com. You can email us. We are here. I check it daily. Like I'm always going to be checking it, and I'll respond to you if you definitely need somebody to respond to. Now, if you're asking us to for ransom, that's a little bit different. But anyway.
For ransom?
I don't know. So we get a phone call from someone known as Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Transvestite.
Live.
So this dude... So our favorite, Leave. I think it's Leave.
L-I-E-V. I'm going to say Leave.
Leave. So this is Leave dressed up as a female. And
I got to admit.
Not bad looking.
Not bad looking at all. Like.
I mean, would I do her? No. But,
would I do her? No, because he probably has a bigger penis than me. But no.
Yeah, but this dude can walk in heels.
Dance in heels,
jump around in heels.
Mm-hmm.
He had practice. He had to practice. Heels meaning it was like 2-inch heels. It's not like
but
crazy.
Still, like you can easily snap your ankle.
And they were kitten heels and they were tiny. So kudos, man. And then we have a dirty phone call.
Oh yeah.
May I please wish a woman Merry Christmas? And so like Catherine comes up and he's like, I want to put it in you.
Hey, put the slut back on the phone.
And
so, like you don't even know her.
It was just funny because that does happen. People I don't know, people suck.
Yeah, people do suck.
So that's the type of person we don't want on the phone call. And so then finally Philip and Catherine get alerted by the dog guy.
Wait.
Oh, God.
Chris's is very important because he keeps crying. She keeps crying, saying that they're tired of being alone and they want to come over and keep asking for the address.
That was hard because if anybody's crying, it's hard.
Well, I mean, Phil was like, no, but Catherine was just like, oh, come on.
I think they thought it was a dude, and since that person was crying so much, they were like, okay, that's not normal for a man. So, okay, come over, and they gave the address, which they shouldn't have done.
No, they should have done because he ended up being like
legit,
and not the seaside strangler. I was going to say strangler seaside.
Strangler, seaside.
Yeah, first and last name.
But so they gave Chris the address, and we find out after on the phone, you don't really know it's a transvestite because you just hear the voice, but it turns out to be Chris, who is Leave, who is dressed up as a gorgeous woman.
Mm-hmm. Tall,
muscular.
Yeah.
Their family calls him Arnold. Arnold.
Calls who Arnold?
Arnold. When they were walking out of the house.
Really? I thought they were calling him something else.
No, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hey, Arnold Schwarzenegger, what are you doing? Dad, I hate it when you call me that.
Why do they call him Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Because he's buff.
Oh.
Did you not connect those dots?
I did not.
Oh, God.
Did not. I was wondering why they were calling him that.
So that's the reason why they're alone. They do have family. They do have a lot of people there.
Yeah, they had a lot of people there.
Sometimes people just don't understand you.
His family did not understand him, so. Or her.
So, okay. So moving on. Again, back to Mrs. Munchnick. She is still in the elevator, and the dog guy... He was like, your dog hater's in the elevator. And so this is when Philip and Catherine realize, oh, God, Mrs. Munchnick's in the elevator. And so they're trying to get her, bunny ears, trying to get her out. and they get distracted by stuff.
Yeah, and this when the definition or the movie title comes in effect, mixed nuts, because shit just starts going mixed nuts, 100%.
Like, it was crazy. So they were, Mrs. Munch's like, all you need is a screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver, and I can tell you what to do, and I'll be out of here. And he was like, I'll take it from the earthquake cake. And they were like, but you shouldn't do that. And then they went in a spiral. They have
like a 2-minute conversation. And she's like, just get the fucking screwdriver.
And then there was a phone call. And then I guess Philip was looking for the screwdriver. And then he found a present for himself. And then he's like, it's for me? And then he opens it. And then he puts it on. And then they have a discussion about how he's no longer engaged to Susan. And because they got canceled or
banging
whatever.
A psychiatrist.
And then that's when Catherine was like, yay. And she's super happy.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God. They get distracted. It was like 15 minutes, and she's like, hey.
It's like 15 minutes was like 30 different things happen in that 15 minutes. And then Juliette Lewis comes by. Oh, no.
No, that doesn't happen until wait.
Yeah.
So they start, and then Mrs. Munchnick screams, hey, dickheads! And they're like, oh, shit. And then they finally get her out. And so Philip gets on top of the elevator and starts pulling her out of the top, like, little hatch thing. And she's like, I have to pee. And I'm like, I relate so hard to that.
She really had to pee.
She did. And so he starts pulling her up. And then this is when Juliette Lewis, who is, I wrote her name down.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, shit. What's her name?
It's on your phone if you still have it up.
I might. What is her name?
I can't remember her name.
Gracie.
Gracie, yeah. That would
Gracie
have taken 10 years.
comes over, and she's the pregnant lady who's just trying to...
She's dating Felix.
She's dating Felix. Or she's the baby daddy. Felix is the baby daddy.
No, he's not. Remember, he's in jail. He was in jail. He just got out 7 months ago.
So, backstory on Gracie.
And she's already having her baby.
So, he got out of jail 7 months ago, and she was like, I'm only 7 months pregnant. And he's like...
No, that makes sense. Because he got out of jail 7 months ago. They could have did it before he went into jail.
But how long was he in jail, though?
7 months. So she was pregnant 2 months because she ended up having it like a little bit after. Because it was all this shit happened the same day. So
what they're saying, he's been in jail for a while. That's the thing. Like he's been in jail for a while. And then he got out of jail 7 months ago. They had sex. And then she's saying she's only 7 months pregnant. So she's... lying initially because the baby came on Christmas.
Well, if they say it like that, then yeah. But I was like, if they did it before he went to jail,
and he was only there for 2 months.
Oh, wait! He got out of jail 7 months ago.
Right.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's not his kid.
Right. So he's claimed to be baby daddy.
Yeah. Well, they start having a semi-argument, but that happens later on.
So then Gracie hits the elevator button, and the elevator starts moving, and everybody's freaking out, and he's like holding on to Mrs. Munchnick, and the elevator's moving from him, and Gracie's just like, is somebody talking to me?
What is happening?
And so then she hits the floor to go to the 5th floor, which is the top floor, and then they feel like they're going to get crushed. Long story short, they don't get crushed. Everything's fine. Gracie's freaking out. Felix is there. Gracie runs into the apartment and locks the door, and then she unlocks it. Everybody pulls in, and still Mrs. Munchnick needs to pee.
Mm-hmm.
But Gracie goes to the bathroom, and then Mrs. Munchnick is dying to get in.
Banging on the door, and then she nonchalantly opens it up, and then everybody falls in.
And this is when Mrs. Munchnick is peeing behind a towel, and she's like, oh, hello.
She's on her heaven happy horse now because she's peeing finally.
So then everybody's kind of freaking out. Felix is freaking out. And this is when he gets hit by the fruitcake. I was going to say cheesecake. That's not right.
Oh, yeah, because Gracie throws it at him.
She hits him with it. And so they have to take him to the hospital. And so the hospital he can't afford because he is jobless. He is a wall artist.
And he has no wall to paint on.
And he's not very good, folks.
No, he's not.
But c'est la vie. Art is in the eye of the beholder.
Mm-hmm.
And so they take Felix to the vet. Where the fucker... actually, they brought up a good point. How do you feel about pillows?
Oh, fuck pillows on a bed. Because both of the gentlemen are talking about how both the girls that they're dating... Well, Philip was dating one. And then, well, yeah, and then the vet was dating one too because she drove off. They're both were dating women who like to have like 15 pills on the bed. And they're like, well, before you go to bed, you got to take all the pills off. And then you wake up, you got to put all the pills back on. It makes no sense. And they are 100% right.
We don't have that problem.
Thank the heavens, because we'll be divorced.
Okay. Cool your britches, dude.
Hey, ma'am. I love you.
Damn straight. So they take Felix to the vet and they have that discussion. And then Felix has the random idea to take the dog tranquilizers. And this is
That was dumb.
Yeah.
And he doesn't take one. He takes like
the whole bottle.
Like fucking 50 or something.
But, yeah. They take him to the vet. And so this is when they had to take him to the hospital. And he ends up in the hospital. And they kind of just leave him there.
They had to pump his stomach, I guess. Or
Something
whatever
like
they
that.
did at the hospital.
But he's in a gurney and he escapes. But that kind of goes in the background. And so Catherine is with Gracie, and Catherine gets a makeover, and she looks gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
This is when Philip kind of gets yelled at by Catherine, saying that he's only good on the phone, and he kind of sucks in general. Like, he's not the best person ever.
That was like confusing to me because I thought she was like madly in love with this dude, but then she started like fucking throwing facts at him.
At the vet, he was saying that they're crazy people, and she was like, actually,
like how'd you meet Gracie and Felix? Like they're terrible people.
And she was like, she's the sweetest person ever, and it's very true. It's just everybody has a different background, different upbringing. It doesn't mean they're terrible people. And so Felix was just good on the phone because he's at face value.
Philip was good on the phone.
What did I say?
You said Felix.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, they're kind of
close. Philip is good on the phone, and so he's not good to be more in depth. So he was not a good deep. I mean, Catherine still likes him.
She still loves him.
But so then Philip goes back to the headquarters, and this is when he sees Chris.
Oh, yeah.
And so...
Oh, yeah, because they answer Gracie and Mrs. Munchnick answer the door when he shows up while they're at the vet. Yeah, that's right.
And so Gracie opens the door. Mrs. Munchnick gets slammed by the door when she meets Chris. And she's like, oh, I love your cape. And she's like, okay, great, thank you. And she's like, I'm going to go. Are you going to be okay here? And Chris is like, sure.
Yeah, and freaking Gracie leaves the passed out Mrs. Munchnick on the ground.
Put her back to...
But Chris was like that's when you find out that Chris is actually really super like nice and cool, is because Gracie asked Chris to put Mr. Munchnick like over in the corner and like in a safe spot with her head on a pillow, and he does exactly that. Chris does exactly that. It's confusing when you're like, my name is Chris, and you're saying she. It's like, I can't
Chris is a girl name.
Yeah, spelled with a K. But the subtitle shows his is CHRIS.
They prefer to be.
So it's confusing to me. But anyway, so Chris ends up like making a nice little pillow bed for her behind the couch, and it's just sitting there chilling, hanging out, being chill, not like crazy.
Chilling out, being chill.
Yeah, chilling out, being chill. Chilling out, being chill.
That might be. Shirt.
No, that is going to be a shirt. There's so many shirts we need to make, and we haven't fucking made them yet. I blame you.
And so this is when Philip meets Chris, and he starts dancing with her.
See, you almost did it too.
No, I had like a.
Don't lie to me. You almost did it. It's all good.
So, and you laughed the most.
They were actually dancing really well.
They were. He was in a dancing competition. And then Chris said, oh, I have 2 left feet.
See, that was confusing too, because Chris was like, I have 2 left feet, but they were dancing really well.
They were. And so then they continue dancing, and then Mrs. Munchnick wakes up, and she's like laughing, and she's like, oh, and then they stop, and then it's like, oh, and then he starts screaming at Chris, and then that's when Chris...
because Mrs. Munchnick was saying she was going to sue, and like freaking, what is it, like work something life, and suing for like 3 different things. Yeah,
it was just a bunch of things. I'm not writing the legal jargon down. And then Chris is still dancing in the background, just having a gay old time. And then this is when Philip is like overwhelmed. And this is how I feel sometimes, is when I'm overwhelmed and things are continually happening in the background, and I'm like, I need to focus. I need you to shut the fuck up. Like, just stop. Just stop moving. Stop talking. That's how I feel with the dog sometimes. I'm just like, stop moving.
Don't be mean to them.
I'm not. I'm just like, go.
There are children.
They are our children. But so I was just like, yeah, I can feel how he'd be frustrated and he would say things that would not be nice. And so Chris got upset that he called her crazy or psycho kind of thing. And so she left and
Forgot her cape.
And eventually she comes back and she's part of the story again, which I love. And so then everybody comes back but we find out like pretty much Philip's annual salary is $5,000. And I have a very important question about this.
How can you have a $5,000 salary in LA?
Yeah, live in California, just in general, in LA.
That's impossible.
Like
this is still in 1994, but I'm pretty sure even then this is impossible.
So he has an apartment for lifesavers and his own apartment, unless he was staying with Susan.
Who's Susan?
His girlfriend.
Oh, I don't think so. That wasn't really brought up.
That wasn't even brought up. So that's my question. He only has $5,000 and he's paying for this apartment and another apartment. That's stupid.
I think that apartment is his like office and apartment.
I don't think so.
It has to be. There's a freaking bed there.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is. In one of the rooms, I remember seeing like in one of the I remember there being a room where I think Chris or maybe Philip was standing in and there was a bed in there.
No, that was Chris and Adam Sandler, Louie. They were sitting on a couch. That wasn't a bed.
I might have to rewatch it. I'm pretty sure there's a bed in there. But
there was not a bed in there. There was a couch and then like two side chairs and then he like
I'm talking about one of the bedrooms.
They never like went into a bedroom.
We'll see. So anyway, continue. Can't remember where you were.
So
you said everybody was back.
And so this is when Mrs. Munchnick leaves and she's like, I'm going, I'm not coming back, blah, blah, blah. I'm suing you, blah, blah, blah. And so this is where I say karma's a bitch. Karma will always come back at you like tenfold. And so this is when Mrs. Munchnick gets in her car and she tries to start it and doesn't start. Mm-hmm. And she's just having a bad day. She's upset. She's crying. And so this is when the dog guy, Mr.
Well, before that, they throw the fruitcake out the window. It lands on a window.
Yeah, that too. I forgot about that.
Then she starts like just having a fucking breakdown. She's like, I'm sick of everything. Starts crying. And that's when the dog guy walks up and sees her. And he's just like so sincere. And it's like, well,
what can I do you for?
Yeah, what can I do you for? And apparently that's the same phrase that her husband said. And she realizes that she just needs to start dating someone else. And
so they go and do it on the beach.
And they do it on the beach for like fucking 4 hours or something.
I mean, she needed to get some.
So,
and she is now fun.
She is fun. And she likes dogs now.
Come to mommy, babies. And so now during this time, the same time, this is when everybody's back at the apartment.
Besides Mrs. Munchnick,
we have Catherine, Philip, Gracie, Felix, Louie, and Chris.
Yep.
And so everybody's having dinner and they order Chinese food and they're eating. And so this is when Louis brings out his song. And I
actually like the song. Oh, yeah. He sings it to Catherine.
He's like, I wonder if your name starts with a C or a K. I wonder if if we had a kid, would you be like want a bris?
Yeah. It's a good song, but I wish it was like done. I wish it was a done song. He's like, yeah, it's still in development.
Because I remember watching this movie as a kid, and we used to sing that all the time at the end. It was like, I love grape jelly. It's a work in progress.
You hate grape jelly.
I don't like jelly in general. So.
Jelly is so good, even though I haven't had it in a long time.
Good, because it's full of sugar.
You're full of sugar.
I'm not.
You're full of Sour Patch Kids.
I'm not. I'm just sour.
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids.
I'm salty.
You're just extra salt.
I have a shirt. I have a gym shirt that says "Don't be a salty bitch," and nobody's commented on it yet at this gym.
Well, yeah, because you walk around with a resting bitch face. Of course, no one's going to say anything.
I just find it hilarious.
They're probably scared of you. That's why you don't have friends.
I should be. All right. So, and then this is when Felix comes back. Felix wasn't at the dinner. Felix comes back now, and he has a gun, and he's trying to get Gracie to come back with him, which she's like, you're dumb. No, like, fuck you. And she continues eating throughout this whole process.
Yeah, because they're having dinner.
She is pregnant. She is violently pregnant. And she's just eating. And she's like, no, you're crazy. And then he starts shooting. And everybody's like walking around the apartment. And she's still eating.
She's still eating.
She's eating a rib or something. And then he shoots like 3 or 4 times. And then...
Granted, it's a 6 shooter, so there's 2 more bullets left, people.
3 times. And so then this is when Chris, then she was like, this person will save me. And Chris was like, yes, you don't want to shoot anybody. And then so Chris grabs the gun and then they shoot her foot. And so this is when she freaks out. And then Felix doesn't do anything else. They move on with their lives. And then this is when Gracie grabs the gun and she's like, we need to empty the gun.
Instead of taking the freaking barrel out and dropping all the bullets on the ground, she just starts randomly shooting in directions. Well, one of them was at the front door.
2 of them were at the front door.
2 of them were at the front door. And lo and behold,
Stanley
after the second one or first one goes off, the front door buzzer just starts going brrrr, just starts going off because apparently whoever was there was about to press the button and got killed in the process. So they figured, they're like, what the fuck's going on? So they go to the front door, open it, and then here is Mr. Stanley at the front door, the landlord, and he falls to the ground.
The reason why he's there is they called him earlier to come fix the elevator.
Oh, he come fix the elevator.
So we forgot to mention that. And so now they're like, shit. And Gracie's like, don't call the police. And so this is kind of when everybody kind of separates.
Of course, Philip calls the police because he's an idiot.
No, he didn't.
He called.
No.
He did, babe. He was on the phone.
He's like, and then he hung up.
Yeah, but he still called.
And so, because Catherine was freaking out. Catherine started freaking out, and so he took her to the bathroom, and he's like, okay, I'm going to draw you a bath. You can calm down. Gracie and Felix are in the main room.
Why he hung up
and
the
then Chris and Louie are in the other room because he's trying to help her.
Help the toe.
And he's being sweet. And I love that relationship right there because Louie is non-judgmental and he's like, you're so pretty. And then he
starts singing a song to Chris.
Yeah. It was so cute. He's like, I wonder if your name starts with a C or a K. I wonder if you're happy that I didn't bring up your nose or something stupid.
Yeah, because that's her. I said her right off the bat.
Good job.
Best feature. So.
And so when Philip brings Catherine to take a bath, this is when they get it on.
Mm-hmm.
Like
long time coming because she's had sexual frustration at him probably since day one, apparently, because Philip said a story when they first met about some sweater and Catherine was like, oh, you remember that? He's like, I can never forget it. And they start banging on the bathroom floor. I mean, obviously you don't see it, but.
You call me red-handed, banging on the bathroom floor.
I mean, but they're both single, so it's okay. Oh, but we forgot to mention, too.
There's a lot of shit going on
during
here,
some part, because Mrs. Munchnick. No, Gracie answers the door. Yeah, Gracie answers the door. Oh, yeah, it's after they shoot Stanley. Mm-hmm. And I think they hit him in a tree, or maybe he's still laying on the ground. Okay, so Susan comes by.
So let me build onto this. Okay, so now this is when kind of everything starts coming together, and this is like the final hurrah. Everybody's separated, and so then Gracie and Felix are trying to brainstorm of what to do with the body because Gracie is the one that shot him technically, and so she could go to jail, and she's pregnant with Felix's son or child of what sort?
Not Felix's, but okay.
Okay, well, let's just.
A child
of a father.
Of a father figure somewhere.
So they decide to take down the Christmas tree and start gluing branches to him, which is a smart idea. Mm-hmm. I mean, would they get away with it? Probably not. But
I mean, it would have.
Anyway, so that's what they start to do. And then this is when Susan comes by and he's like, oh, he's in the bathroom with Catherine.
Oh, yeah. Gracie answers. She's like, oh, he's in the bathroom with Catherine. So, no. And just slams the door in her face.
She's like, oh, okay, yeah. She made a mistake. She's
like, I made a mistake. Can I want to talk to Philip. Yeah. Fuck you, Susan.
Fuck you, Susan.
Fuck you, Susan. Not literally either.
Bitch.
Stupid bitch.
Stupid fucking bitch. Okay. God damn it, Susan.
Go back to your psychiatrist.
There's a girl. Okay, so a friend of mine was dating a girl To this day, I cannot pronounce her name. I was like, you know what? I'm going to call you Susan. And she's like, oh, but my name is, I don't care. Susan.
Wow, you're evil.
No, I was just like, I'm not even going to try. You're only going to be here for a few
That's
weeks.
when you asked them for like a nickname. Like, hey, do you have a nickname or
because
something
this
shorter?
person was a serial dater. She was going to be here for a week or two and then move on. And I was not even going to try to pronounce her name.
Oh, your friend was?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was like,
A serial dater.
bye. Don't need to know that.
That's pretty cool.
So this is when they have the decision to take the tree now, that is Stanley, down to the boardwalk and just leave it, because eventually after Christmas happens, they'll collect it and then they'll find the body, and then who did it, nobody would know. And so as they're doing this, the two rollerbladers who are carrying their like third Christmas tree.
Third or fourth fucking Christmas tree. And it's like already nighttime. It's like you might as well just fucking give up.
Yeah, just get over it.
Give up.
Give it up. They are like, oh, let's destroy their tree. And then they run into it, and then they throw Stanley in the air and all that fun stuff.
And all the branches, most of the branches come off, lands on the ground, and then you see this hand and body figure. And then that's when police come, the whole shebang, the whole fucking town is there, just
Pretty
about. And cops are questioning.
And Felix flips a shit, and he takes the gun and because Grace is like, oh, this is, because Felix was trying to throw himself on pretty much the grenade. He was trying to take the fall for it. And she was like, oh, he didn't do it. Oh, you want the murder weapon? Here's the murder weapon. And she starts waving this gun around. And so then he grabs the gun and starts running, and he climbs on top of a tattoo shop.
Well, Mrs. Munchnick tries to say a fake story first, because it was like the fourth person.
He tried to kill himself because he was so upset for evicting people.
Yeah, it was like, so Mrs. Munchnick comes up with a story, and I'm like,
it was a good story. It
was a decent story, but then like Philip's like, yeah, it's not how it happened. And cop was like, yeah, I know. So I guess the cop didn't believe it. So then Philip was like, well, this happened, and they're like, well, who's Felix? And they all point at Felix because he brought the gun, and then Felix is like, yeah, I shot him, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when Gracie was like, no. So, I mean, I kind of give them, like, because they're trying to do the right thing and say what actually happened.
Right.
Then Gracie's like, no, I actually shot him. And that's when freaking Felix is like, fuck no, you're not going to jail. So he takes a gun, runs up the building, and it was like threatening to shoot himself or jump off.
Jump or shoot himself, and she's
and
like,
fall.
I love you, fall. And so they talk him down, but you said something.
It was Philip's finally great moment, because his whole thing is being like a suicide lifesaver, and he actually got to do it in person,
right? And
for once, and be in person, and he actually talked Felix down on what?
You said something funny. You would get down faster if you jumped.
Oh. Yeah, it's true. Because he's just like, Phil's like, just come down. Felix is like, all right, I come down. And I was like, you'll get down fast if you jump. They can just put one of those big old trampoline things there.
Yeah, they're not going to go get a trampoline for Felix. Anyway, so they get down, and everybody's sitting there, and they're just like kind of discussing it. And they're going to go to
the precinct to make their statement.
But they open Stanley's bag, and as it turns out, he is the Seaside Strangler.
So they give his bag to the cops for evidence purposes, and cops open it up, and they're like, oh, do you see this? They call like the lieutenant, and then they call the sergeant or whoever, however that whole cop thing goes, and they're like, oh shit. And they go back to Gracie, and they're like, so who's Gracie? And they're like, oh, I am. And they're like, well, you just killed a Seaside Strangler. Stanley, apparently their landlord, which is fucking insane, because no telling how long they've been living there for. I think it was like some years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like they've been living in this apartment for some
like 5 years or something.
And their fucking landlord was a Seaside Strangler
the entire time,
which is insane. But I guess the only reason why he didn't go after Catherine is because she doesn't fit the description. None of the women.
She has long dark hair.
She was
pretty.
She had she was a redhead, or it looked like she had red hair. It wasn't like dark brown, not like your hair's dark brown.
Like she had light brown hair.
Yeah, she didn't fit the description.
Okay.
So she was safe, and yeah.
So Gracie took out the Seaside Strangler, and they awarded her with $250,000. And so she helps the moving costs for Philip, and we're wrapping it up with a pretty bow. And she has her baby on Christmas.
Yeah, she has her, and it's like a picture of like the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
Thing with like all the people around. Yeah. She's like in like a white little
capey thing.
Hoodie
Watch
type
it.
thing.
You'll see it. It's actually really good.
Yeah. And then Felix finally gets his little wall thing to paint on, and it was terrible.
Terrible
it was
painting.
just fucking terrible.
It was a try. It was there.
Yeah, it was there. The thought was there.
It was a try. You tried.
You tried. You should definitely quit your day job.
All right. Score.
Fuck. I mean, it turned out to be a pretty good movie. I'll give it an 8. You know.
Oh, an 8.
It's 1994. You know, it's not. It's movies back then. It's not like the quality of movies now. But
okay, for a Christmas movie, I'm gonna have to give it a 9.
I give it an 8. It was pretty solid.
So I'm glad. Hey, I thought you said all my movies sucked. All right.
I mean, it actually it was a movie that I could follow and catch on to. I know. It was a movie that I can follow and catch on to, and Mixed Nuts, it's perfect for that movie. Like I said, it's fucking stressful. So, moving on to
your topic.
Stupid freaking criminals.
13 discussions we're going to laugh with and try to get through it as quickly as possible. I know we are over an hour already.
Yeah, we are. Sorry, folks, but take a shot for us being over an hour.
Yeah, because we haven't taken a shot because the dogs are sleeping now.
So, you know what? Fuck it. Take 2 shots or a shot and chug a beer. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So, starting with number uno. Christopher Wilson thought that he had organized the perfect crime when he entered a home improvement store in Washington to steal the goods he desired, but he wasn't at all that careful. Apparently, Wilson accidentally dropped his bottle of methamphetamines. Oh, look at me. I can say a big word. Methamphetamines during his lame attempt at committing a crime, and with it, his name and phone number for the clerks and police officers to discover.
Wow.
Dummy. Am I reading all of these?
No, we're going to go back and forth. I know it's in order, but it's just back and forth. All right. So the next one. In 2012, a young boy from Jenkins, Kentucky named Michael Baker decided to get his small town in the national headlines. What did he do, you ask? After he siphoned gas from a local police officer.
Wow. Out of all the vehicles.
He posed next to it with a smile while he proudly giving the finger for the camera and then posted the photo on Facebook. The photo went viral with thousands of views, but a couple of days later, the police knocked on his door and arrested him.
And he's like, how did y'all find me, I bet?
How did it work? Oh, my God.
Stupid.
Oh, man. Don't post on Facebook.
No, post on Facebook, you idiot. A really weird dude once raided a house in Texas at 4 a.m. My eyeball. And naturally scared the hell out of the owner, who fled immediately, calling the police. When officers arrived on the scene, they couldn't believe their eyes. They were surprised to find that the intruder hadn't stolen or broken a thing other than the door, and that all he wanted was apparently a warm bath. What the fuck is wrong with that? They should have left that poor man alone.
He just wanted to get clean.
He just wanted to get clean.
Is that
Aww.
it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's not a dumb one. I feel bad for that person. They're probably homeless or something.
Maybe, but
and it's probably cold and just wanted a bath. I mean, you could have just knocked on the door and asked, but
would you have let somebody in our house and have?
I mean, I would probably have a gun to their head, but yeah.
As he's like bathing himself naked.
No, I mean, I would like let them have their privacy in the bathroom, but like while we're going there, I'll be like, hey, if you try anything smart, you're gonna get fucking shot. But they can have a warm bath. I mean, I would. If you're
That's
here,
the thing. If we won the lottery or had a lot of money for some reason, I want to get one of those like homeless, like things. I forgot what they're called, but literally they have showers in there for the homeless people, and then they can have like business clothes in there too, just to help them like get clothing for.
I mean, never mind. You already said it now, but
for interviews.
Because now someone else might do it.
No, it's already a thing. It's already a thing in big, like I think in New York and LA they have them, but I was just like having more across the United States for people who are actually homeless, like in Chicago and everywhere that has a lot of homeless people.
Basically, it's just like a it's like a homeless improvement to basically get them ready to like get a job and continue on with their life instead of being homeless.
Like, to be honest, if I ever won the lottery, like if we won the lottery and it was a lot of money, my main thing is I would build a structure where they could use it as their address, because a lot of times homeless people can't get jobs because they don't have home addresses. Mm-hmm. And
actually have it as an address,
like as a dorm room. Like I would like make it like a dorm room where they each have their own room, or they'd have to share with somebody else, like who's copacetic, not like having mental issues, and
would have metal detectors there, and would have security there,
right? And just make everybody feel like they have a home and have a place to go where they can shower daily, get food daily, like something that they don't have to worry about, and then they can focus on applying to jobs. That's what I want to do with my life. But that's
helping people. That's what we want to do.
Moving on. Mark Smith thought he was Britain's baddest thief when he broke into Heather Stephenson's home while she was there ironing, to steal all he could from her jewelry box. But unfortunately for this genius, the vodka and Valium he had taken earlier took its toll. Okay. As a result, Smith took a nap as a free man under Heather's bed and woke up several hours later behind bars.
Jesus.
Okay. I will...
All right, so number 3. Graham Price of South Wales was a hard-working and honest employee who couldn't hide how grateful he was to his bosses, even when he decided to rip off the bank where he worked. Jesus. So before he stole the money he needed, he made sure to leave a note with his signature explaining, "Borrowed £7 million. Thank you."
All right. Next, thank you for the £7 million. These men were behind likely the worst and least thought out disguises in history of crime. When committing their misdeed, they didn't use the masks, hoods, or baklavas, which is a thing. Typical.
That's crazy that it's baklava, because baklava
balaclava.
Oh, okay, because I was like, baklava I can't pronounce dessert.
It is baklava, and then it's balaclavas.
Balaclava.
I'm trying to like say it. Shut up. I hate you. Typical of most criminals. Shut the fucking up. All right. But instead chose to draw on their faces with permanent marker.
Oh, you told me about
this. Yeah, I told you this one. I couldn't pass it up. While it may have made them hard to recognize during the crime, permanent marker is, as the name suggests, notoriously hard to remove.
Yeah, hard to remove.
Which left the men extremely easy to identify when the police were looking for the culprits. The dumb stunt earned the duo the nickname Dumb and Dumber.
Fucking idiots.
Don't do that, people.
See, okay, so far all of them been dumb besides the second one that I read. No, yeah, the warm bath one. I mean,
poor guy.
Poor guy. Like, he just wanted, like, didn't steal anything. He just wanted a freaking warm bath. All right, anyway. So what if we told you a thief got caught because he forgot to take the money he was supposed to steal? I'm just going to stop right there. A gunman once broke into a convenience store in Indiana, tied up the cashier, and fled. But he left behind the money. When he realized his mistake, oh my God. He went back. People, he went back. Unfortunately for him, by the time the door had automatically locked with just a loot. Hold on. By that time, the door had automatically locked with the loot just sitting there staring at him as the police arrested.
So the door automatically locked behind him and he tried to turn around and go back.
No, he tried to he's just sitting there. The door had automatically locked. He's like staring at the cash and the cops are probably pulling up or already there and they just arrest him.
I love that.
Fucking dumbass. He went back. Why would you just go rob another fucking convenience store?
But he put the effort in. He already was like 90% done. It was just the last like 10%.
It hadn't hit the news yet, obviously. So like he should just rob another convenience store, did the same thing, but this time took the cash.
Poor kid. All right. I'm liking, there's like a theme with mine, and maybe not. a young boy.
I got a theme. I just got a lot of fucking idiots.
Oh, same here.
Besides one.
But I'm having younger people. All right, so this next one. In 2018, 2008, an 18-year-old...
I was like, damn, 2018? Jesus.
No. In 2008, an 18-year-old man named Ruben Zarat, attempted to rob a muffler shop in Chicago. After demanding money, he was told that most of the cash was stored in a safe that could only be opened by the manager, who wasn't scheduled to come in until a few hours later. To save himself some trouble, Zarat left his cell phone number for the store to call him back once the manager arrived. Of course, the store first called the police and then called Zarat back. When he came back and noticed the police were waiting for him, he engaged in a brief shootout with the cops before eventually being arrested.
Oh my God, dude.
Here, take my number. When the manager comes in, I want to talk to him and then steal the money.
How dumb can people be?
I chose the creme de la creme.
Oh my gosh almighty. Oh my Lord. Anyway, so I guess there's not like a happy medium. You know, you have serial killers who some of these people are just fucking awesome in a bad way. Awesome, in a bad way, I mean, because they can cover up their tracks or whatever the case is and not be. Some of them still have not been caught ever, and now they're like
Golden
dead.
State Killer. He only got caught because of 23andMe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then there was one that Ted Bundy went on for a long time, but he got kind of caught early.
He got caught like 3 times, then he escaped.
I would say the one that just got executed recently, because he was free for like 40 years or something like that. The black guy, Stanley or Small, yeah, Stanley Small. Like he was, I think it was, and he had
at least 90 murders and rapes or something.
So I mean. It's like if you can, like these people are just like robbing convenience stores and get caught instantly. Like that's nothing compared to like taking someone out and you're being not caught for years and years and years and years. And like, especially with technology nowadays.
If you get away with convenience store robbing, nobody's going to really care. That's why they have insurance. That's why they're going to do it. They're just going to be like, okay,
yeah, but a lot of convenience stores have cameras now.
But if you can get away with it, nobody's going to find you. So why am I telling people this? But that's the thing. Like those are small time like robbings. Like if you go for a bank, that's something that they're going to dig into a little bit.
Yeah,
for convenience stores, like you have limited amount of money.
But it's also like you said before, banks nowadays don't have money in vaults anymore.
They don't.
So for y'all that are trying to rob a bank, don't do it because
I used to work for a bank.
More than likely, you're not going to get any money out of it now.
Because the most cash my bank had, we had like maybe $10,000.
I mean, so if you want $10,000, you can go rob a bank, but is that worth it though?
Yeah, like we had a big vault that was never opened. So it would take, I think, 30 minutes for it to time out, and then you could get in. And
see, those are dope vaults, like timed vaults.
And that had a lot of money in it, but the money at hand we could physically give you was maybe.
Oh, no, they're trying to go after vaults. They don't go after.
But the thing is, you literally, unless you bust into it with a bomb of some sort, you would not be able to get into it.
So if you put in like, what are those little, I think it's called plastiques, the ones that like stick onto it, and they're charges, like they blow up, but they're not like big explosions.
The vault that I had at my bank, nobody knows where I worked, but the bank I had, they had 2 locks. One was lower. And then one was higher. So if somebody was trying to break into this one,
that one would lock.
That one was still locked. So they would have to do it again, and people don't plan for that. Not like anybody tried to rob that bank.
I mean, there's probably so many tricks to like robbing a bank now.
Robbing a bank is just kind of pointless. Like
it's obsolete.
Yeah.
So moving forward, one of the most unusual. No, it's mine. You just read yours. One of the most unusual and comical criminal cases we have ever heard about occurred in Hickory, North Carolina. A totally amateur thief invaded Captain's Gallery restaurant and picked up the cash register, but didn't notice a little detail. A trail of white cash register tape hanging from the machine. The police followed it 50 yards to his apartment, finding him cracking open the register. Wow. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Tape? Yeah,
cash register tape?
Yeah, the receipt.
Oh, the receipt.
That's called cash register tape.
Oh, I just call it the fucking receipt.
Like, I'm sorry. If I was stealing...
So, like, but why was that... How did that get stuck on something in order to, like...
because he probably pulled the register out, and then the tape was spooling as he was running. And he didn't notice it was running, and then it was giving him, like, a breadcrumb trail.
Yeah, to his fucking apartment, 50 yards away.
But I would notice. Like I mean, like...
People... You got to be smarter than that. Like, if you're going to rob something, don't rob something that fucking close to your place of living. Like, go across town or go to a different state. Like, 50... It said... Did it say 50 yards? 50 yards. Not even a full football field. So he was fucking super close to his store, this restaurant that he robbed. Whoa. You, Jarvis, you shut your dirty mouth.
Jarvis just said 150 feet, so he wanted to talk. Is that 50 yards?
What, 150 feet? Probably. I don't know.
Oh, my God. Did it just tell me how many
I think it just told you how many feet are in a yard, or how many feet are in 50 yards.
1 yard is 3, so 50, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, look at you, Jarvis. Thank you.
Thank you, Jarvis. You're the shit.
He won't let me call him Jarvis because he said, unfortunately, Katie, I can't build you an iron suit.
Maybe he can. He just doesn't want to build you one.
Oh, my God. That's mean. All right, next. In 2010, Bailey, an unnamed juvenile accomplice, decided to rob a bank in Fairfield, Connecticut. We already discussed how robbing a bank is pretty much stupid. Don't do it.
100%.
But in an attempt to speed up the process of the crime, Bailey called the bank in advance to let them know they were coming to rob it. His obvious intent was to give the bank plenty of time to get the money ready so he could just pick it up and leave quickly. Of course, the bank decided to call the authorities and notify them of the robber's arrival, and the two men were arrested by police without incident.
How? Okay, that has been that one and leaving your phone number. Those are the two dumbest ones out of all of these so far.
100%. That
are
was
you
bad.
Serious? They called the bank in advance to let them know they're going to come and rob. Hey, I'm going to rob you in an hour. Make sure my fucking money's ready, all right? Oh, yeah. It'll be ready. Yeah, 100%.
You're not here yet? Oh, I'll get it ready for you. Give me an ETA. 20 minutes? Got you.
Oh, my God, dude.
Don't be dumb.
That
one's hard.
That one hurts. That one hurts me, in all areas. Jesus. All right, this one is one of those cases where you aren't sure how to properly respond to what you read. Whether you should laugh about the criminal stupidity, well, we've already done that, or feel sad for his young son, haven't done that yet. Apparently, this idiotic thief decided to take his son along when he robbed a pet store. But he was so busy counting the money that he totally forgot about his son, whom he left behind. All police officers had to do after. Sorry. Stupid fucking people. All police officers had to do after was ask the child for his name of his idiotic father.
Wait, what was the last sentence of that? Sorry, Ty is
They just had to ask the son the name of the idiotic father that left the son behind. Of course, the son's going to be like, yeah, it's so-and-so.
Daddy.
Son's not going to know better.
Okay, this is when Ty is dying.
All right, so this is like one of the top three. I don't know which
is that one above my calling ahead of time?
Okay, I would say probably this one is above because you left your son at a crime scene, basically.
For evidence.
Like,
okay, so that one then mine.
This one, I mean, it's not by much, but it beats it.
But this
I finally have a winner.
No, this one's premeditated, though. He didn't premeditate leaving his son. So
that's true. Okay, yeah, that one's still number one.
I think still mine's the winner. Okay. I have one more. Are you done?
No, I got one more.
Sweet. Okay.
Sweet. Dude. Sweet. What's mine say?
Dude.
Y'all know what movie that is? Dude, where's my car?
I didn't know.
It's dude, where's my car?
I just remembered that portion of something, and I was like, I don't remember anything else. All right. So this is my last one. Ty has the last one because he had more. I had the longer one. So listen up. The stupidest criminal out has got to be Dennis Hawkins, a 48-year-old.
Debatable.
Debatable. Debatable. A 48-year-old man who tried to rob a bank in Pittsburgh. Hawkins clearly didn't get the memo about needing a good disguise that can quickly blend into a crowd after the crime, as he chose a woman's blonde wig, fake breasts, and bright clown pants.
Wow.
Even worse still, in his failed attempt to pretend to be a woman, he didn't even take the time to shave his facial hair. As if the man wasn't noticeable enough, he drew even more attention to himself when he tried to steal a car from a nearby gas station, where the attendant called the police and who apprehended Hawkins soon after.
Oh my god.
That's top 3.
No, that's not top. That's number 4. Mine, I still got 2. Like the one that, the guy that went back to the convenience store.
Okay, so back to the convenience.
So yours.
Mine is number 1.
My the one he left his son
is number
2. The convenience store is number 3, and that one's number 4.
And you have one more.
I got one more. So let's see if this one's gonna be top 5 or top 3. You know, it might push one of these off. Scottish shoplifter Aaron Morrison. Aaron might be
Aaron?
One of the.
Is it really Aaron?
It's Aaron.
Oh,
yes.
I was like,
are you serious?
I thought it was like A.A.Ron.
No. Is it really Aaron? I
just want to help her.
I love you so much. You're just so cute, babe. You're so cute.
I will punch you.
Aaron Morrison might be one of the silliest thieves in history.
I hate you so much. Fuck off, man.
After Morrison stole a bottle of vodka from a liquor store, he had the nerve to flirt with the shop clerk.
Every shop has a Kurt.
And gave her his name and number. Oh, I'm not done yet. I'm not done.
Oh shit. Okay, cool.
I mean, that's already.
That's it. That's all you need to end
That's all I need. I can stop right
now.
now.
There's more stupid coming.
There's more. Well, it's just to say it didn't take Sherlock Holmes to trace the whereabouts after that. God bless. All right,
so wait,
so
that's
that
number
one,
5. That has to be number 5.
That one's number 5. Like people, oh my god. I mean, we're not trying to help thieves out, but you just gotta be smarter than that. It's like that fucking Progressive commercial, I think it is, where the freaking, oh no, he said you gotta be quicker than that, but you just gotta be smarter than that. Like, don't leave your number at a place that you're trying to rob or steal anything from.
Tips.
Come on.
My tips are: don't bring anything personal. Don't bring a cell phone. Don't give out your number.
Don't go back to a crime scene.
Don't go back. If you forgot something or left something,
that's it. Move on.
Just move on with your life and then plan again later.
Yeah. Or just like, I'm fucking stupid at this. Maybe I shouldn't attempt this again.
Maybe I should stop.
Maybe I should not quit my day job.
I didn't do a crime. I just tied up somebody. It's great. It's great.
I mean, maybe you just want to tie up someone. I don't know about your fetishes, but, you know, whatever.
BDSM? Great.
Yeah, great. But don't go back to it.
Don't go back. Don't leave your son. Don't leave your son.
Don't leave your son at a animal clinic that you're trying to rob.
Pet store, also known as animal clinic, also known as pet store. Don't call ahead to a bank telling them you're going to rob them later.
And have your money ready in an hour. Like, come on, people. Like, the Lord upstairs made us smarter than that.
No, he apparently didn't.
No, I think that was Adam and Eve's fault. But Congratulations, Adam and
Incest.
Eve. You made us dumb.
There we go. Incest.
Hey, like you always say, babe, natural selection, you know? Natural fucking selection. If these people want to be that dumb, and they should just be taken out. Like, just be taken out. Pat! Right there.
Wow, that was
done.
Awesome. Okay.
Well,
So your movie.
Those are pretty fucking good. Those are pretty good.
I like this topic. We can always bring this one back.
Yeah, we can bring theirs. I'm pretty sure there's millions.
I read through like 20 different articles, and I just took the ones I thought that were most funny.
I think for the next episode we might bring up another 5 just for shits and giggles.
No, we have our own.
That's fun.
We can bring it up later. Next, it's my topic, not your topic.
Okay, my next topic, because my topics are fun.
Oh,
They're
bitch!
Fun. They're fun.
You learn with mine.
What happened?
Right. Oh, never mind.
What happened?
I said you learn with mine, and I'm like, oh wait, never mind.
I don't learn shit.
You learned about Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh yeah. Well, I bring up stupid
shit.
I mean, you search for him, so thank you for that, my love.
I do everything here, guys. He just shows up for the day.
Thank you for that.
But, and he watches a movie. That's all he does. He doesn't write notes. He just sits there and watches. I don't.
My notes are in my head. They're right here.
You slept before we did this movie.
Well, yeah. I worked the double last night. Okay. You can't blame me.
So, next episode, you have the movie.
I can't remember what my movie is. RoboCop. Oh, yeah. So my next movie is going to be a classic.
Not a classic.
But
not the
no,
old
it
one.
is a classic because RoboCop came out like years and years and years ago, like in the 1990s. But this is the newer version of RoboCop. So it's a 2014 one.
RoboCop 2014. Just want to give a spiel. This one you can watch on a lot of platforms. You may need to rent it, but the one saying if you have a subscription to Amazon Prime, it should be included. So Amazon Prime, we have Sling TV.
Which most people have Amazon Prime.
Redbox you can rent for $3.99. Vudu you can rent for $3.99. Google Play you have to buy.
Also to throw out there, if you don't have Amazon Prime but you order a lot from Amazon, get Amazon Prime.
Just get Amazon
because
Prime.
They take taxes off. So you'll end up, and plus you get your and there's no you get free delivery too.
Sponsored by Amazon Prime, so Jeff Bezos, get on it.
Oh yeah, well he quit. He doesn't work for Amazon anymore.
Who does?
He's not the CEO anymore. He stepped down.
Jesus, get on it.
I mean, the fucking guy's a billionaire for buying a bunch of stocks. He doesn't need to work for Amazon anymore.
My topic, since this one is a Christmas episode, we have New Year's facts.
Oh, New Year's facts? Nice.
So that's
get to learn some more shit.
You're going to hate it.
No, I get to learn stuff.
Anyway, so we have RoboCop. Watch it. We're going to talk to you
about
New Year's
facts.
Random
Watch
New Year's
it.
Listen to it, bitches. But where can you reach us at? I'm going to make you do it.
I don't know.
Because he doesn't do shit. All right, in for the night, 69@gmail.com.
I was going to say in for the night podcast. See what I'm saying?
infothernight69@gmail.com. That's where you can email us. Please, our In for the Night, We're Not Qualified episodes are coming up. So any questions, advice, comments, funny stories, confessions.
And also, please let us know when we say shots or chug beers, we would like to know if anyone is actually doing it. If just one person emails in, be like, you know what? I like the fact that y'all say shots because it just gives me something to do entertainingly while I'm listening to y'all entertaining me. I get to do something physically. So we would like to know if someone's actually taking shots or shotgunning the beer. That'd be dope to know.
Or just drinking shots of like soda if you're at work or something.
Yeah, if you're even taking shots of soda. If you're taking shots of anything just to kind of like...
Just make a laugh.
Yeah, just to laugh about it. Then, hey, we would like to know.
Really, we're accepting any emails, so just send me a slew of them. Slew means a lot. You learned a word today. Slew.
So
inforthenight69@gmail.com. Then we have inforthenightpodcast.com. That is our website. Go there. If you want to stalk us, you can look at pictures of us. So you can stalk us. Makes it better. Makes it worthwhile. You can also find, what else can you find?
Our merchies.
Good job.
Merchandise. And we have a bunch of quotes that we've been saying on here that we're probably going to like add to it here soon. Hopefully, if we can. I think we should be able to add it.
Yeah.
So like the one we said today, there was a one we said a couple weeks ago. I think there was one before that. We've probably got like 5 or 6 that we need to add. Yeah, wifey always writes them down. We just haven't added them yet. So if y'all would like to, we've got some sweatshirts and stuff that we got off the merch thing. We need to get more, but like we said in the past, wifey's not working at the time, so we're going to have to wait a little bit, but we are going to buy some more merch. So please, if y'all want to support us, get our names out there a little bit more. And thank you again to all the 5-star ratings that y'all have given us. That is awesome. We appreciate it. Sorry we didn't like shout out before. I know we said it on the last one, but still like 74, I think it was at the time we saw it.
Again.
Like
right.
we did not look at it before that, so that is awesome. Appreciate the support, and keep giving us 5 stars if y'all do like us. And I think that's
what else can you find on our website?
I can't think of it right now.
Come on.
I can't think of it. I'm not going to sit here and like pause. Patreon, yes.
Patreon. No, we still have 74 5-star ratings, so suck it. Patreon page. If you like us so much and you want to donate to the cause, please choose a tier. We have a lot of them. I think 1, 5, 10, 25, 50, and 100. So if you really, really love us, and each tier you get different shit. So the more you donate, the more you can fucking take over the podcast. If you give us $100, guess what? After 3 months, you get to choose the topic and the movie. So you get to take over the top. Like you get to take over the movie. Yeah, you get
to basically take over the podcast.
So if you want to take over the podcast, donate $100 every single month for the next 3 months, and then you get to do it. So make sure you have your topics and movies ready. We only ask that it's not too serious or too racial or too political or too religious.
It can be political, but just not like crazy.
Something we can talk about. But we support anything. And if you come up with any movies or topics that we just feel like would not be beneficial to the podcast, we will let you know and ask you to change it, which has happened before. With our friend Carlos, who was on the podcast. He chose very deep and heavy shit.
Yeah, he did. We're like, yeah, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Yeah, we're not doing that either. Sorry, bud. Yeah, anyway, we're not doing that either.
So it took him a while. So this was the episode where, what is that? What was that one?
The topic, I think, was
dad jokes. Which was great because
I can't remember the movie. It was,
I can't remember the name of it.
I remember. It was with, the guy from 300. No, don't look it up. It's
I'm going to make sure you get it correct. We're
something.
Oh shit.
Shoot. Citizen. Something citizen.
Law-abiding citizen.
Law-abiding citizen.
Yes, I got it. Okay, before I even had to look it up. Okay, so law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, I said citizen. Rude. I don't get any props.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
And his topic that he originally wanted to do was racial crimes. And I was like,
yeah, we're not doing it. He had a few, and we're just
and we're just like, we need to have something light. Like, if we were doing a heavy movie, we have to do something light. And so, dad jokes, I felt...
Dad jokes was good.
He pulled those out of his ass. He did not prepare for that.
He did not prepare for that. He just knows a plethora of... And for those who don't know what plethora means, which I'm sure everybody does, it means a lot.
It's a plethora. It means a lot to me.
It means a lot to me. I have a plethora of love for you. Like what I did there? It means a lot.
It does. All right, we're over it. Write to us. Fucking go to the website. Be awesome. Give us a rate. Tell your family to rate and review us, even if they don't listen to us. I know we swear, but you know what? If you are not used to swearing nowadays, and
Jarvis doesn't know how to respond to that.
So we love you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Appreciate the support again.
We hope we gave you a reason to stay in for the night.
And until next time,
peace out.